Hi guys, welcome to another batch of your replays as I try and get through all the replays you guys have sent me. And I can't feature them all, but I did pick out 2 games today. And it was a complete and utter stroke of luck that both games were sent in by the same players. So today you're going to get a double helping of Dreadshells. We are kicking off with this game in the Jagdtiger 88, a tank that I really haven't gotten to grips with yet, but I really need to spend more time in. It's the Tier 8 Premium German TD. Really good crew trainer. It's a decent tank, although I don't particularly like it because I find its maneuverability isn't fantastic. But this is a really nice matchup for Dreadshells. He's on Himmelsdorf, it's an encounter, and he has spawned quite close to the bottom of the hill, so the engine power on the Jagdtiger 88 isn't great, so going uphill probably isn't a good idea. And Dreadshells is going south. He's not even going to bother going up the hill. And once again, I have not watched these games. Dreadshells is top tier. It's a 63% or so. Really hard to be aggressive in a Jagdtiger 88, but Dreadshells needs to be. And on a map like Himmelsdorf, this is a map that suits this tank really well because you can go hull down. It's the same superstructure as the Tier 9 Jagdtiger. It's basically the Tier 9 Jagdtiger stock with the Tiger 1's gun. And Dreadshells is going to be working the 8 line. So Tiger P has been spotted, Comet has been spotted. And Dreadshells goes for a beautiful shot on the cupola on the Tiger P. Continuing to work. You can see that the accuracy is quite good, and now a Jagdtiger 88 has appeared. So Dreadshells gets a lovely shot into the lower glacis. And it looks as if both Jagdtigers know exactly what they're doing. They've both gone hull down. Dreadshells is aiming for the machine gun port. Unfortunately, misses that shot. He's switched to premium ammo. Maybe he doesn't need premium ammo to go through the machine gun port, but he's going to work on this Jagdtiger 88. That's probably the most dangerous tank in front of him on the 8 line so far, and Dreadshells wants to take him out. Just pumping shot after shot into the machine gun port on the Jagdtiger 88. Takes him out. And now there's a Tiger. And Dreadshells probably didn't need premium ammo. He's just taken his first damage. I think the Tiger was able to sneak a shot into his machine gun port. But Dreadshells is able to continue working here. He's checking for backup, making sure he has an IS-2 in support. Comet and Panther to his right. So he's just waiting for enemy tanks to advance. He's staying hull down, showing his strongest armor. And he's got shots on the cupola on the Tiger P again. Not much of a shot. Doesn't go for it. So, Dreadshells is up to 2.7k damage already. Goes for a track shot on the Comet. Beautiful shot. Does the Comet have a repair kit? No, he doesn't. And Dreadshells doesn't need premium ammo. Oh, maybe he did. Comet was slow with the repair kit and allowed Dreadshells to get 3 shots in, taking him up to almost 3.5k damage. This game is only 3 minutes old. So Dreadshells tracks the Tiger P, going back to work on this cupola. And the Tiger P has a repair crew, or he has a repair kit. He repaired just in time, prevented Dreadshells from getting another shot in, so, excuse me. Looks like Dreadshells is going on the attack. It is a 63%er, he needs to be aggressive. Dreadshells goes for another track shot, holding the Tiger P in place. Getting some XP and credits through assistance damage, and now he's advancing on this Comet. Comet's a 1-hit kill, and Dreadshells takes him out for kill number 2. He's up to 4.2k damage. His team are being aggressive, his team are advancing. So lots of tanks left on the hill and lots of tanks down to Dreadshells' right. So again, Dreadshells has kind of gone into more like a heavy tank mode. He's just rolling forward, trying to keep his lower glacis hidden, looking for targets of opportunity. And just a hint of a shot on the cupola of the KV-85. He bounces, but really difficult shot. Looks like the IS is advancing. Dreadshells gets the kill. There's kill number 3. KV-85, very difficult shot, but really nice accuracy. Takes out the commander's cupola for kill number 4. That's 4.4k damage. Still tanks on the hill and a Cromwell. And this is one of the reasons I don't like the Jagdtiger 88 all that much, because at the end of games it's a slow tank. It's very hard to wrap up. That Cromwell is dead. Dreadshells knows there are only 2 tanks left. They're both on the hill. His team are capping, and he's not going to have very much chance of catching them unless they decide to come down off the hill. So he is reversing. He is looking for shots. Needs the VK to reverse. But he's kind of just got his fingers crossed that he's going to get any more damage out of this game, and it doesn't look as if he is. The IS-3 takes out the VK. Just the enemy IS-3 left. Still on the hill. And faster tanks are making their way up there to support the IS-3. And the Jagdtiger 88 is never ever going to make it up on the hill. So we'll speed it up. Maybe the IS-3 runs away. Nope, IS-3 is standing to fight. T-37 has a chance of killing the IS-3. Could go either way. Dreadshell still has his fingers crossed. Oh, and it looks as if the IS-3 and the T-37 take each other out. So, really good by-the-book Jagdtiger 88 gameplay there. So it was an ace tanker and a steel wall for Dreadshells in the Jagdtiger 88. He finished top on XP with 1484, 4,437 damage, 4 kills. He fired 25, hit 23, penned 22. Now, he did fire some premium ammo at the start of that game versus the enemy Jagdtiger 88, but that was probably the most dangerous tank on the enemy team. He did have shots on the machine gun port, but yeah, I mean, it was a really good performance from the gun. 22 shots received, and 19 of them were bounces. The armor on this tank is fantastic if you can go hull down. He took potential damage of 4,170, more hit points than his vehicle. He spotted 5, damaged 6, destroyed 4, did 197 assistance damage. Wasn't playing with a premium account, but still earned 44,500 credits. 1484 XP on a ×2 first game of the day, with a bonus thrown in, left him on 3,116 XP. Jagdtiger 88 is a good moneymaker. It's a solid tank, but for me it gets a little bit frustrating. I find its engine power lets it down a little bit, and it's a little bit situational as a result, but in a matchup like that on a city map, the Jagdtiger is a very good tank, as Dreadshells showed. Moving on, we've got Dreadshells Part 2, and this time he's in the Tier 10 French medium, the Batchat. Now, this is the first time I think I have ever featured the Batchat on the channel. I'm only up to the Lorraine 40T and haven't started playing it yet, so really interested to see some Batchat gameplay, and this tank is a absolute monster. It's an assassin. It's got 259mm of penetration with a standard AP, 390 alpha damage, and it's got 5 shots in the clip. So it is perfectly capable of clipping a lot of tanks it comes across. And T-71 going on a suicide scout run. Again, this is a 9.3 replay. And unfortunately, Dreadshells only manages to get 1 shot in, and the T-71 gets out of there. And it means that Dreadshell has needed to go for a reload. He's expended 3 shots. So, not a fantastic start. Very aggressive play by the T-71. So, a 37.5 second reload. But as I was saying, the Batchat looks like a tank I would enjoy. I really enjoyed the AMX 1390. And someone said to me recently that basically, if you can play the AMX 1390 well, you'll play the Batchat well. So it's a tank I'm looking forward to. I'm not saying I play the 1390 particularly well, but I did okay in it. So Dreadshells is setting up in a position that's very strong. It prevents enemy tanks from moving into town too aggressively because you get side shots and rear shots. He blew away the house. He doesn't have that much ammunition. The Batchat doesn't come with a lot of ammunition, so you really need to be careful. You can't really spam shots in the tank. You got to make every shot count. But he did waste one shell trying to get a better angle of attack, and it's worked. It was worth it. He's got an E75, but the E75 isn't giving him much to shoot at. And the E75 is slightly angled. The IS-4 is a much better target, but the IS-4 seems to have sixth sense or something. He reverses. Nope, he's coming back. Okay, and now Dreadshells can go to work. He sets the IS-4 on fire with his first shot. Gets a second shot in, and that is 1,329 damage on the IS-4 with just 2 shots. So you'll notice that Dreadshells got spotted. He didn't decide to hang around. He's moving, he's got sixth sense, and while he's moving, he's going for a reload. Really important in a autoloader to use your reload time to relocate, pop up in unexpected locations, try and get side shots, try and get rear shots, and it gives you something to do while you're on this reload. So he's looking for shots. He does have shots on the T-34 in the distance. Don't know why the outline isn't showing. May not be much of a shot. But 9.3 replay. Sometimes the outlines just refuse to work. So another IS-4 has been spotted. This one does look as if he might be in the open, but some nice maneuvering. Decides to go for the T-34. Doesn't have much to shoot at, but he sneaks a shot in. Looking for other shots. Not a lot of enemy tanks giving him an opportunity to put shots in, so he decides, you know what, he's going to go for a reload, and he's going to relocate again. So this is a 57%er, so it's a fairly close game. You see the speed of the Batchat, the ability to get around from flank to flank. And he's almost reloaded. 5 seconds to go, so he's going on the attack. He's got the rear of an E75. And this is what the Batchat's made for. He tracks on the first shot, unfortunately. E75 uses a repair kit. 1 shot in, 2 shots in, going for the final shot, takes him out. Still 1 shot left in the clip, but he goes for another reload. He's up to 3.2k damage, has just been spotted. And once again, while he's reloading, he's relocating. So again, pretty much textbook Batchat driving so far. So he figures he's going to have more joy. He had a choice of maybe sniping on the 1-2 lines or going on the attack on the 8-9 lines. It's 2v2 down here. Nope. 3v2, there's an IS-3 moving up. And then friendly IS-7 just goes down, so that just leaves the E100 down here versus a T95 and a T110 E5. So Dreadshells made the correct decision to come down and help the E100. E100 does take out the E5. Look at the speed and maneuverability of this tank. It's practically a light tank in a lot of ways. So he's moved up, he's got the rear of the T95. There is RT in play, he does need to be a little bit careful. Oh, and really unfortunate to bounce that first shot. But he sets the T95 on fire. These things are fire traps, and he sets him on fire again. So complete waste of a premium fire extinguisher for the T95. And rather than risking the T95 getting killed by the E100, he expends his last shot. So he's on 4.9k damage, let's just call it 5k. 2 kills, and once again, while he's on a reload, 37.5 seconds, he's relocating. So it's turning into a fairly comfortable game so far. The score's 11-8. Still some dangerous tanks on the enemy team, including an E3. But he's almost reloaded, he's used his speed, he's used his maneuverability, he's relocated, goes for the track shot first. Now he's opening up. 2.7 seconds between shots. And he's able to one-clip the IS-3. Unfortunately, the IS-3 does get a shot into him. And a T-34. So it looks like all the remaining enemy tanks are on fairly low health. And once again, he's advancing. He's staying below the gun line of the T-34. Using this time to close the distance and reload. Multitasking in the Batchat. So 6.4k damage, 3 kills. And the enemy team did look as if they were about to pull it back. They took out a Centurion and an E-75, but the E-100 snipes the T-34. RT takes out the T-28. Just one tank left on the enemy team. That's the E-3. Forward facing TD. And if you can get to the side and rear, it's an easy kill. And that's what Dreadshells does. So really, really nice Batchat gameplay, and first time I featured the tank on the channel, so thank you very much for sending it in, Dreadshells. So it was an ace tanker and a high caliber. He finished top on XP with 1231, 6,692. Let's just call that 6.7k damage and 4 kills. He fired 22, hit 18 and penned 17. And the Batchat is an assassin. It was really, really a good example of Batchat gameplay. He spotted 3, damaged 7, destroyed 4, did 537 assistance damage. And you notice he was going for track shots before emptying the rest of his clip into his victims. Mark of a good player. 27,700 credits earned on a standard account. Not playing with a premium account, but he still made a nice healthy profit. 1,231 XP on a ×3 event left him on 3,693. So double helping of Dreadshells today. A really, really solid game in the Jagdtiger 88, playing the tank to its strengths, and yet again a very, very, very good game in the Batchat. Again, playing its tank to its strengths. Dreadshells obviously knows his tanks. Looking forward to getting the Batchat myself. As I say, I'm on the Lorraine 40T, but haven't actually started playing it yet. I need a crew and I need to unlock some modules. But thank you very much for sending those replays in, Dreadshells. Sorry I haven't got around to showing them before. And I hope you guys at home enjoyed watching them. I'll see you next time.